Hey guys, my name is John Hamilton and today I'm going to be teaching you how to set up footstep sounds in the Blender game engine. So this means if your player is walking on something like concrete, you can play a concrete footstep sound. Or if your player is walking on grass, you can play a grass footstep sound. So as you can see right here, this is all it takes for one of them. So this is going to play the sound of I just have a floor here, but you could have this concrete or whatever. So this is going to play the sound if you're on the right material. So let's get into it and let's learn how to set this up. Right, so what we want to set up is for our player to collision with a certain material, and then we want it to play a sound if we are clicking WAS or D for walking. So what we're going to first need to do is set up a material. So you're going to come over here to the materials tab and make new material by clicking new material. So you're going to click on here and give it a new name, floor, will do it for me, and this is just so we can easily find it. So we're going to come over here to the game logic, and this is going to give us some more settings. So now that we've set that up, we want to grab our cube, which is going to be our player, and we want to set up some logic on it. So what we want to do is we want to add a collision. Right, so a collision sensor, and we want to set it up so we can detect if we are collisioning with that certain material. So the first thing we want to do is give it a name, and this is pretty important because we're going to need to reference back to this name later. So capitals are important. If you have a capital, you've got to rewrite it the same later. So make sure that everything is consistent with how you name everything. So I'm going to name it floor with a capital F. So here we want to detect it, but not a property. So the way we detect if it's a material is coming over here to this M/P. So this is going to toggle between collision on material or collision on property. So if we go material, if we collision with an object that's got this material, it's going to send out a pulse. So if we click this, what you'll see now is it's set up. So what you want to do is going to add a end object, and this is going to be for testing purposes, so it's going to delete it if it works. So if we connect this up, see, making sure in Blender game, when we press, it's not working. So the reason for that is it is not actually on this, it can't be detected. And what the reason for that is it needs to be some kind of dynamic object that is an actor. So if I select character, what you need to do is select actor as well. You can see it is deleting. So I don't believe you don't even need actor. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that. Right. So we've got this floor. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want it to, if we click W, so walking forward, I'm going to put W in this key. So this is going to detect if we're clicking forward, and it's going to send out a pulse there. And you wanted this to be a capital W at the top, or you can name it whatever you like, but I'm going to name it that for now because it's pretty descriptive of what it does. Right. So most people at this point would add and they connect this up. And then they would add another and here, and they would connect this up, and then connect the next one up, and then connect into a sound thing. But that's a bit ugly and doesn't look very nice. So what we're going to be using is an expression controller. Now what this allows us to do is set up arguments for the output. So we can have an output on certain arguments. So if we connect this up, and we connect floor and W up, what this is going to do is we can run an argument here. So we want to say if we are collisioned with the floor, so we will be, as you can see it was deleting before, and W is pressed, then we want it to send an output and play our sound, but for now we're just going to be deleting it because it's easier to see. So let's type this in. So you're going to do is go floor, and W. So you don't need to go if floor and W blah blah blah. You just need you need the sensor's name or the property's name if you're using a property, and then put an and then W, or in this case W. If it was something else, you'd put another name controller here. So if it was like floor 2, then you'd do that if that was another controller's name, but we're going to be using W. Alright, so now what you'll see is if we click W, it deletes because it's collisioned, and we are clicking W. Now, let's say we want the same sound to play when we're clicking S here. So S, and so you can see S is here. So if we were to go and S, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So what you need to do is you need to go OR. So what this is going to do is it's going to set up almost a new slate. So this first bit's almost like it's controller by itself, and then this is almost like a second controller. So we can almost exactly copy the first one. So we can go floor, and this is where you're going to change it. You're going to go floor and S. So as you can see, this one up here, this is named floor. So what you can see here is we're detecting if this S right here, this bottom one, and this top one are equal to true, then it will send that output. But we can also detect in the same one if floor and W are clicked. So this allows us to do multiple things in the same thing. So what you see is if we click S, it deletes as well. So what you're going to want to do is pretty much copy this, just more and more, but it gets a little bit hard to write in here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to write it in here. Now this can't be super long, but this fits into it because I'm not doing too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it all the way from this OR. So if we go OR, and then we go floor and A, because that's going to be left, I believe. And then if we paste that once more, and then we go floor and D for right, and copy that. Now if you had different names here, you would name these different than W. You would name this whatever this is named. But this is what we named them, so it works. Alright, so what we're going to want to do down here is paste this in. As you can see, you've got little dots. That means it's too long to fit in the whole thing, so it's just kind of hiding bits of it. These little dots there. And what we're going to want to do is add our extra keyboards sensors. So this one's going to be A, and this is important. You need that to be a capital because we wrote that over there. And this needs to be D. And D in the slot, right? So we connect these up. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. It's not as yucky as it would be if you normally did it. What you say is if I go W, it deletes. If I go A, it deletes. If I go S, it deletes. And if I go D, it deletes. So the last thing we want to do is we want it to play a sound. So if we delete this and add in a sound, and we connect this up, you can go get your sound. Now I have a sound in downloads called running. Now what is a little bit annoying is my screen recorder cannot record system sounds. I might have to try and figure out a way to fix that, but for now it doesn't. So you won't be able to hear this, but it will work for you, and it will work for me. It's just the screen recorder won't pick it up. So what you're going to want to select is loop stop. So what this is going to do is, let's say we are pressing W and it was collisioned with the floor, so it was doing that. What it's going to do is it's going to, as long as those two things are equal, it's going to continue playing the sound, and it's going to loop it. When it gets to the end, it's going to restart the sound and keep playing. But as soon as we let go, it's going to stop. Now with loop end, it doesn't do that. It will, when you let go, it will play to the end of the track and then stop. Same with play, except play will play it once and then no more, and play end will play it all the way to the end and then it's not anymore. So You're just going to want to go with loop stop if you're doing it for something like this. So if I press play, you can't hear it, but it is working, and this is great. So if you wanted to have more than one material, so let's say you had concrete and grass and many different things, what you could do is you could add another collision. And what you would want to do is you would want to do the same expression under here, a second controller. You'd want all of this connected up, and you'd want, instead of this floor one, you connect the new one up, so you could name that concrete or something. You connect that up, and you just replace this floor with the name of this one right here. So it's really simple to set it up for different kinds of material. If you have any questions about this tutorial, comment them down below, and you can also subscribe on YouTube to get updated every single week when I come out with a new tutorial. Or you can go to blenderreal.com and you can see all the tutorials there as well. Thanks for watching and have a great week.